Okay, let us, wait, hold on. We got to do our Theodore check. He still looks about the same. He is breathing. That's good. Anyway, let's do some more practice calculating rates of change, practice with slopes, and some other stuff. So if we have a linear function, sometimes we call the linear function f of x. Sometimes we can just call the linear function f. Okay, so let's say f is some linear function. The function value at an input of 3, -2. And the function value at an input of 8 is +1. What's the slope going to be? Otherwise known as the rate of change. Well, let's see. How do we find slope? How do we find slope? Aha. There's the slope right there. Difference in y over difference in x. Let's use the other version of the formula. Either version of this formula is fine. Okay. We know our slope is going to be the function value at the second x minus the function value at the first x divided by the second x minus the first x. Well, x is our inputs here. This is our first one. This is our second. It doesn't actually matter which one you choose as the first and which one you choose as the second. So choose as your heart desires. Now we just say, okay, what is f of our second? It's f of 8. F of our first is f of 3. We know what those equal. That's great. Divided by 8 minus 3. F of 8, function value at 8, we said is +1. Function value at 3 is -2. We can replace it. Again, be very careful. Subtracting a negative, it's going to look like this. 8 minus 3 is 5. Subtract a negative is the same as adding a positive. 1 plus 2 adds 3. And we get 3/5. This function's going up. This function's increasing. It's a linear function. The slope is positive. Slope is 3/5, positive number. And yeah, at 3, we were all the way down in the negatives. And as soon as we got over to 8, we got into the positives. So it makes sense that it's going up. That's our slope. And again, what does this mean? That means we go 3/5 units up for every 1 unit right. Or you can say 3 up, 5 right. What that slope means on a line. We were graphing this line, that's exactly what we'd do. Count 1, 2, 3 up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. We'd have our slope and we could draw our line and so on. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and do basically the same thing. We have 2 points. Find the rate of change. And let's see, we're talking about a line. And then ask whether this function is increasing or decreasing. Pause. Go. All right. We could use the same formula, or we could use a different formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Again, let's say this is our first x and this is our first y. This is our second x. Now this is our second y. Remember, these ordered pairs are inputs and outputs. Usually x's and y's, but it could be other letters too. So y2 we said was 4, minus y1 we said was 3. x2 we said was 0, minus x1 we said was 2. It's very tempting to always put the bigger number first. But you have to be consistent. If this is y2, that has to be x2. All right. So it's very helpful to label these like I'm doing right here. 4 minus 3 is 1. 0 minus 2 is -2. So our slope is actually -1/2. We have a negative slope, which means we are decreasing. And again, if we were thinking about the graph of a line, this means that we would be going down 1 because it's negative, and right 2. All right. That's pretty much it for this one. It wasn't super long. I didn't need to maybe split them up into 2 videos, but 2 videos is what you got. Have a good one. Bye-bye.